When the ground shook violently, buildings collapsed, the rubble fell upon them. They escaped with their lives, but not with all of their limbs. ISAEL Gilbert worked as a carpenter, but lost his arm and hasn't been able to work since. Gilbert and hundreds of other Haitians maimed by the earthquake have been living in this temporary housing set up by relief organizations. But despite the millions invested to alleviate the suffering of those who lost everything, this camp now has no electricity, no proper toilets, or showers.
Our life has become more miserable here. Despite all the money that was given for recovery, we haven't benefited. Even public buses don't stop for us because they know we can't afford to pay.
Gilbert and others here have heard promises of long-term adequate housing many times. But 5 years after the earthquake and 3 years of living here, and they're still waiting. The conditions are not getting any better. In fact, they're deteriorating. Even children have to fetch water outside the camp, using any means possible to get it home. According to UN statistics, today there are 79,000 people still living in tents and temporary shelters in Haiti as a result of the earthquake. But that's down from 1.5 million right after the tragedy.
I think the key success is the fact that we've been able to reduce this displacement chapter that is part now of Haiti's history.
But there are more than 100,000 more people who don't show up in official statistics, occupying makeshift homes in slums like this one. Many of them received a year of humanitarian aid to rent an apartment and get out of the tent cities, but that aid has since run out.
Instead of taking the opportunity to solve the housing problem, the aid organizations chose to pay short-term rent. And after 1 year, the people couldn't afford to pay the rent on their own because they had no job, so they end up in the slums.
Back at the camp, the most vulnerable are still waiting for their chance for a proper place to live and hoping they're not forgotten, but feeling like they already have been. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.